out to everyone. So, yep, welcome to another TD Talks special edition. If you want to do a quick shout out, we're going to do a quick shout out right now. Drop in the comments right now. Share, like, subscribe. You know how it is. I'm TD Erickson.
All
I'm
the
actually
good stuff.
joined by my co-host right here, TD Bappo to my left hand side,
Hello.
and then we have on the south would be
On the
Carlo G
stuff.
in the place to be. Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone. Stop
All
stealing
right, all
my.
right.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Whatever time you guys are watching this, another episode of TD Talks.
Good
For sure,
talks.
for
All
sure,
right.
for sure. Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Actually, right now we are joined by a special guest, guys.
A
Mm.
special
I
guest.
heard he also traveled from Manila. Friend of the shop, friend of the show as well, and dear friends of ours.
And to us all.
Let's all welcome Doc Pow.
Hey!
Yo, what's up?
Grabe,
Not
Doc.
by cheering in the
Dami kang
background.
fans, ha? Dami kang fans, ha?
Uniform
Dami,
mo?
dami.
Wala lang ang uniform.
Wala mo na kayo uniform. Magic Judge.
I'm sorry. I'm
What's up,
sorry.
guys?
Ay, nako, Doc Pao. How are things? How's the travel? Sense check muna. Sense check
I'm,
tayo
I'm
today.
still in Manila. I'm still in
Oh, you're
Manila.
still in Manila?
Yeah. Shout out to PR, Philip Rama, who helped me book a place last minute because I have to attend the convention. So, I just went
I
to the,
see. I
to the
see.
tour and then, I'm still here.
So it has been a very good Magic month as well for the team. If I correct me if I'm wrong, last month you guys went to Singapore to play, and then the team all actually did favorably. And I know that you have an upcoming upcoming co-written what do you call this article about the deck that you guys made, so watch out for that one, guys. That's actually spearheaded and as well by Doc Pao himself, ghost written by, by Doc Pao.
Not a ghost anymore, but,
Oh,
Yeah.
I try.
Syempre, I wanna give due where credit is due.
Do work right.
So, Doc Pa, we have invited you today to ask you a few questions about the event last week. Um, so, TD Baps, what was the event that you guys went to last week?
All right. So the event that we went to was called the Got Games Nationals. It's been a while since we've had a nationals event in the Philippines. So basically, all the people within the country are going into this one place where they get to play the best of the best in the country. So, and we went there. It was about 143 players from all over the country. We got people from Cebu, people from Baguio, Bacolod, in central Manila. So yeah, even in Davao, because there were like I think there was a like two kids that played. I think we met them in Singapore as well, sa regional
The
champs,
Vow
and then
Kids? Oh yeah,
yeah, the
are
Davao
they the
kids,
ones
yeah,
ano?
they were
The
there,
Vow
and then
Kids? They were
and
there?
yeah,
Yo,
and
Yeah.
one of them got the top eight as well. So shout outs to Josh. I
Cool.
even got to play with him. He beat me in
yo,
the third round.
those
So
kids, those kids.
he was playing scales. So shout outs to the VOW team. They're very solid players. So and then they got the win in the bag. And I think they played for the championship against Bunny. Bunny won because he
Oh,
took the whole thing.
okay.
But he got there in the
Bunny
finals.
won. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Shout out pala kay Miss Mary. Hello, Miss Mary on the stream. Thank you
Hello,
very
Yeah,
much
man.
for
Mary.
joining us.
Hey Mary, she was also with us as well. Si Mary, she joined us in the trip going to Manila. So we went there together,
Mm.
and sulit talaga. Andon
Yes,
kasi
both of them.
we got the win, and then the ban happened last night. So
At least we got the win before the
which we're
ban.
gonna
So,
which we're gonna talk about later as well. But
foreshadowing.
Later,
um,
for sure, for
so
sure.
the event for the GG Nationals was held by Got Games Events. Shout outs
Mm,
to Sir Birds and the team and the rest of
mm.
the LGS all over the country. Um, they went together and then got to collab. with the organizers, and then got to bring all these wonderful players to play our favorite game, Magic the Gathering. It was awesome. It was such an awesome event. Very smooth. Um, a little bit of hiccups in the second day because what happened was it was fired. The Popper event was fired together with the One Piece, and then there was just
Mm,
some
Ah,
miscommunication with
little
how
bit.
they just yeah,
Okay.
with the time, because they displayed the time for the popper in the first round, and then when the One Piece started, the 50K event, then they started displaying the One Piece timer, which was about 30
Timer.
minutes. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
some of the popper
Little bit
players
of
were
miscom.
confused, like, "Oh my god, we're running out of time!" And then suddenly judgments like, "Popper players, you got 30 minutes." Like, what? We still got it was,
uh,
it's very
that's
small, very
confusion.
small.
Doc,
Oh, yeah, that happened to
um,
me.
ha- it happened to you? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was saying the with the popper event. Yeah, there was this round where I was thinking if I should still play with the first game, but when I looked at the time, I was like, oh, gee, I only have like 15 minutes left. That's still the first round. So I decided to just scoop that game, and then after that, Ben makes an announcement. At Magic, you have 20 minutes left. Like what? Okay, I already scooped the
Oh
first game.
no.
I guess I have to make up
Scammed.
for it. So yeah. Yeah,
Skaman
also
ka, Doc.
felt
Skaman.
yeah, yeah.
Wow,
It wasn't.
scammed.
It didn't
You
matter
deserve it
that
back.
much, but still,
Speaking of the event, when I was
come
looking
on, come
at,
on.
siguro kasi I'm the biggest, what do you call this? I have a biggest, what do you call this? It's an anxiety wherein you feel left out. What's
FOMO.
that
FOMO.
called? Parang
FOMO.
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 I have a
Fear of
very, what do you
missing
call
out.
this? Missing
Feeling
out.
of
I have
missing
a
out.
very
Yeah.
bad,
Case.
kumbaga, case of FOMO at that point in time. I wanted to go so bad. But I want to relive that experience with you guys. So I'll just revert that question to you, Son, because you're also on the event. I know you've also joined a lot of tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes this different, kumbaga? Is there a different
Uh,
feel?
I guess it's pretty much the fact that I know that most, if not all, of the players that joined were, kababayan, our fellow
Mm.
Filipino players, and the fact that like it's, I mean, same sa regional championship Singapore. There was money on the line, but it's different if it's your local currency because you get it right away, right? Like if it's in like other events such as the regional championships outside, and then you have to deal with their currency. You gotta get it exchange. You gotta wait for a while, uh, and there goes Doc Pao. But it felt pretty good. Like um, when we get to the end of the tournament, everyone gets their share, and just go out and hang out and eat. So shout outs to Philip Rama and his boys. So we also got to hang out on the last day after their sweet victory. So overall, it was very enjoyable. Like really enjoyed the event overall. It was good. It was good.
It's
I
good.
love
It's
it.
good. It's good. Looking at the photos, by the way,
Oh yeah, here we go.
sayang wala si Doc Pao. Doc Pao is having some technical difficulties because of
Yeah.
internet connection. You know how it is. You know how it is. I just want to do a quick shout out kay Doc Pao. Look at that. So fierce. What's the deck he's playing here? Do you have an
This
idea?
Synthesizer.
this is the popper. Yeah, that's the popper event. So he's playing the mono red synthesizer.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
If you were to play, I know I'm not really a proper player. If you were to play Mono Red synth, where will it rank? What do you think?
Number one. Go run. Why'd you think we picked the deck?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
How we do
okay,
it,
okay,
baby.
okay, okay. In three bullet points, what makes it number one for you?
Number one, compared to the different versions of the deck in the past, this one is like the
Mm.
most consistent we've ever seen with mono red. Like, there's just no way you could, if the stars align, you draw the right cards and you play them right, just do proper sequencing, you're almost never going to lose with this deck just because of how consistent it is with the new cards such as Reckless Impulse, Experimental Synthesizer, Implement of Combustion, and Ren's Resolve. You got a lot of card
Mm.
draws for a red deck. That's crazy. So and then it's
Yes.
Pauper, so you
Yeah.
get access to all these crazy like super powerful cards like Lightning Bolt, Monastery Switchspear, Chain
Oh,
Lightning.
lightning bolt is common.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
common. So
Yes, sir. And Chain Lightning.
Galvanic Blast. You have a lot of artifacts in the deck.
Galvanic
So
Blast.
yeah, you
Yak,
have
Goodness.
big yak. Ew,
because you have
kadiri.
the biggest
Galvanic blast
4
is
damage, 1
common.
mana, sir? Eat that.
and the biggest deal was the addition to the new card in the deck, which was called Goblin Tomb Raider. Yeah,
Yeah, Goblin Tomb Raider.
it's
Goblin
because
Guide
Here
in
got banned,
Pauper.
since
right?
yeah, because since you have access to Great Furnace, which is an artifact land, that's your red source, and an artifact itself. When you
Oh,
play
yeah.
Tomb Raider, it becomes a Goblin Guide. You just attack for
The
2
Goblin Guide.
on the
It's
first
a
turn.
Goblin Guide.
It's
The
crazy.
straight up
Other than that,
Goblin Guide.
Swiss Spear, I mean, you guys know it's banned, but it just got banned last night. But there's a
Mm-hmm.
reason why it got banned. Like
Rest in peace.
so
Rest in
the
peace.
deck is super fast, and then it has access to Goblin Bushwhacker, like one of the craziest cards in the deck. If I guess the last point that I would say for the deck is that it has a lot of angles to deal with all these types of archetypes in the
Yeah.
format. So if you have the classic, go fast. You also have the go slow, where you can just grind it out with your opponent and then draw all your burn spells because it has 4 copies of Galvanic Blast. If you have access to Metalcraft, that's 4 damage. So that's 16 damage already in your deck, just waiting to be resolved.
Ay, shucks.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yes,
I see
sir.
what it is.
and
So
then you
much
can go
burn.
I
wide. You can go wide as well with the addition to Coldota
Gleeful.
Rebirth.
I call
And
Dota Rebirth, yes.
yeah, sacrificing mostly your combustion, your implemented combustion, and then sometimes your experimental synthesizer. One thing I would note about the deck is the synthesizer really takes it up a notch because not only can you get a potential card advantage if you do the proper sequencing, like maybe get a free land from the top, and then at the
Yeah.
same time do it again by either sacrificing it through rebirth or just paying 3 to get a 2
Samurai
vigilance
token as
samurai.
well, yeah.
That's a big deal because sometimes red runs out of gas. The fact that you could put like a free 2 body just by cracking and then getting another card,
Hmm.
like that's like 3 for 1 for a common.
That's true.
So
It doesn't
mm,
matter if it's activate on sorcery speed. That doing things on your turn is fine anyway.
yeah. So
Yeah.
based
I
on my
see, I see.
experience, especially in all my games during the event, like I flooded with 18 lands more than you normally have with just an 18 land deck. Like that's insane. Just how deep you could go into the deck. So
That's quite
and
good. That's quite
well,
good.
and then we did the math. We looked at the the overview of the meta. Red was really in a prime position to like really win that event. And Craig, your boy in the picture right there, he showed up, got the results.
Boom!
Boom.
Speaking of
Yeah.
results, let's talk about results. So this is the proper what do you call this? Top 8 if I'm not mistaken, tama.
Yep.
Popper, yes.
Uh,
All right.
so
Our
one of
boy
these,
placed to win.
yeah,
Where?
there's Craig, there's Philip Rama right beside him, and right beside Craig as well is Marone Gaming. Shout outs to Marone Gaming. He was my round 2 opponent. He was playing BG Gardens, Golgari Gardens. It's the
Correct ba?
premier.
Is my cursor correct? Maroon?
No,
Him?
no,
Or
right,
beside Craig?
yeah, that one, yeah,
Okay.
Yep,
with the
that
playmat.
guy. Yep.
So, the guy played Golgari Gardens. It's the premier control deck in the format, next to
Golgari Gardens?
call gates. Yeah, because they
Yeah,
have crypt.
explain.
So you have cards like Crypt Rats, where it's like a free body slash board wipe, especially if you're up against aggro. It's pretty good. And then you have access to we call them eggs, where there's
Eggs.
2
Okay.
mana, draw a card, an artifact, and then when you sacrifice them, you draw a card again. So then they synergize with cards like Fanatical Offering or Deadly Dispute. So you get to draw 3 cards for technically 1 mana. So it's like
Deadly
Ancestral
dispute.
Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc,
Then
we're talking about the top 8 meta for Pioneer, and we're talking about Golgari. What was it? Eggs?
Bulgari
no
Gardens.
Popper,
Golgari
Popper.
Popper
Popper.
Gardens.
Oh, Popper,
Yeah,
Popper, yeah.
Ah.
yeah.
Gardens.
Cause
Yeah.
mm, it was a pretty good deck, and then Philip was running that as well, and then so is my
Charap
previous
charap.
opponent, Maroon Gaming. So shout outs to him. He also has a, what do you guys call this, a Facebook page where he sells just Popper cards. So if you're looking to buy Popper, be sure to check his page. So shout
Specialized,
out to him. It's
specialized.
super nice. Yeah, and then uh, I remember we played, and then I flooded so hard, and then he was also stumbling, but I just flooded more than he did. That's how deep I went with the deck. Like, I went Reckless Impulse, I went Ren's Resolve, Experimental Synthesizer, and I just drew a bunch of lands. But the funny thing is, because of how intense Pauper is as a format, like, you really have to consider all the options your opponent has, because he was like running very low, it's like down to 7 or 5, and then he was looking at my 2 cards, and then he was really taking his time. It was like taking 5 minutes per turn, thinking what to do. But then I only had 2 lands.
Ah, the pain.
The classic bluff,
Doc,
like, yeah, I'm just gonna pass
so
because I can't do anything.
The pain though, the pain.
uh according to TD Baps, he was flooding with the deck. What's your experience with the mono
Mhm.
red synth deck?
Yeah, well, Mono Red, like I keep telling them, the only time Mono Red loses is when it floods. So that's actually
Mm.
the crucial match where I lost. Like I was playing a mirror, and then we were both basically we had a gummed up board already. So what happened was we both had a bunch of goblins, and then we could swing for lethal anytime. But we had, yeah, since it was full of creatures, we were just racing to whoever gets the board wipe first. So funny thing was when I played the Ren's Resolve, so I exiled two cards to use. What I got was 2 lands, and the other guy was fist
Mm.
bumping, like, yeah. He was so happy. He was so
The
happy.
great equalizers.
I just had to laugh. Like, and then when it went to his turn, he also top decked similar Res Resolve, and then just cast it, and then he found he found his board right. We were both like, okay, so that's how you win it.
Well, that's the game.
Nothing else.
Yikes.
That's it.
Yikes. Okay, okay. It was
Nothing else
so
to
that
do.
was the result for Popper. I would
For
probably
Popper.
say, how many people did play Popper at that point in time? Rough
I think
estimate, TD Babs.
I think there was about
64,
42
40,
players.
42.
Yeah,
42.
yeah.
Oh,
We
okay, okay,
we got up
okay.
A
to
lot.
we got up
Shout
to
out sa
six
mga
rounds.
hype beast
For
natin sa chat
Popper,
dyan.
that's a
No, no.
Shout-
So the reason, so what I learned is the reason why, because of the numbers with not just sa Popper but sa Modern as well, is one, there was the ongoing One Piece card game na 50k rin. They were running
Mm.
together. And two, there were multiple
Oh,
events happening on those days.
at the
On
same
Saturday,
time, I see.
yeah, on Saturday there was the Neutral Grounds RCQ,
oh
and
yeah,
Okay.
the crazy thing
Centris.
was they made the registration free. So, like, dang,
Okay.
even I would
Okay.
want to go.
I see. I see how it
Yeah,
is.
and
Okay,
then
okay.
on
Fair enough,
Sunday,
fair enough.
I believe they also had a vintage event from Onkeko shop. Shout outs to Onkeko and Sir Michael.
Oh,
Uh,
vintage. They also have a vintage ano
yeah,
oh, that's
because we went
really
there to
good.
buy cards, and Mary went there. Shout out to Mary for winning their Friday Night Magic Modern. And then on Sunday, she got to play the vintage event. It was a free event as well. You get freebies
The
and stuff.
vintage was free.
Yeah, and then you can
Ah,
only
cool.
play like 20 proxies in the deck, like max. But you can join for free and then get prizes. Like the prize was like around 125,000. So that was
Nice.
a there's like a lot of
Oh
big events
yeah,
happening at the same time aside from the
the
national.
the champion got a Badlands, a graded Badlands, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, it was a dual land. So
The dual land, yeah,
um,
Yeah, okay, team.
not bad.
Agree, agree.
overall, it was a very good weekend for Magic because a lot of events were happening at the same time. So
Not just Magic, according to our
Not just
chat.
magic.
Shout out sa One Piece boys. We are
We
also
had
proud of you.
Malone
Of
and
course,
L.
we have our One Piece boys right here. We
yeah,
do
let's
have them.
go,
Look at these guys.
We have
It's
Malonski,
Mr. Malone.
Malone and L, if
Yeah.
I'm not
L,
mistaken, right? There
sup
you
L,
go. There
Yep.
you
Yep.
go. These guys.
yeah,
We also have them. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who joined One Piece. Then correct me if I'm wrong, TD Paps. About I would say 100 or
mm,
so,
I think there were
close
about
to.
like 60 to 70 players. Yeah,
I see, I see. And our boys are playing. Malone is playing. I couldn't see well, but it looks
Kata,
like yellow.
yeah, it's Katakuri. It's his signature
Katakuri.
deck. Yeah,
I see.
and
And L.
actually he did very well, but unfortunately he lost in the tiebreakers when
Ooh.
the
I
last round
see.
ended. So he was X1. He only lost one round, and then when
Yikes.
when the results came out, he was seeded at ninth. So it was,
Okay,
Dang.
Malone,
The
I
curse
would
of the
probably
ninth.
say na ano, I feel you, buddy. There's a lot of what do you call this? I did have two experiences where I almost made it to top 8. It sucks only that the tiebreakers actually comes into play there. So I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
you, buddy. It's frustrating, pero hang in there. That doesn't mean that you're not a good player. That just means na the tide or like the tide wasn't in your favor. Baka,
Mm-mm.
umuwi yung
The numbers
kalaban mo
weren't there for
kanina.
you.
Yeah. Tinalo mo siya masyado, umuwi.
You beat them so
So,
bad they left.
I left. So, okay, pro tip, once you beat people, you try to uplift them. Number one, because it's good manners, right? And we are a community. That's the correct answer. We are a community, and we all want to get better. Then number
mhm.
two,
Uh-huh.
you need them to stick for your tiebreakers. So,
Yeah. Good,
so
still good intentions. Always good
yeah.
intentions, but
So good manners always wins. Okay, just make
yeah.
sure that you
Yeah,
have those good manners. Then always blame the top deck. That's what I would probably say. Always blame top deck. Even if you have the
Always
card
blame them.
sandbag, sabihin mo na, yeah, na top deck ko lang siya, I'm just lucky. The best solution to everything. Doc! Oh!
Doc,
Oh,
Yo,
oh,
welcome
it
back.
fixed it. I'm sorry, guys.
all right, he's back.
hello.
In and out, in and out.
Nice.
Yeah, it went on mobile. Why? Where
Yikes.
we at?
Internet is kind of bad, right? Speaking of,
Yeah.
while we have you, Doc Pao, I know the internet is quite bad and we're not going to keep you so much. I want to talk about the modern event, which the team actually did really, really well. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys placed money finished everyone. But of course, your boy, Doc Pao, is top 3.
Yeah. Woo!
So
Ano
proud of
tawag ni
you.
Martin sa akin when the announcement came? Stage mama. And I
I
was
heard
so
that. I heard that.
like super hype when the announcer's name. Like, ah!
Yeah, yeah. I heard that
As
sa
you should
ano.
be.
It's like as you should be. Even if I'm there, I will probably shout bahala kayo
We
dyan.
would probably do that.
Yeah,
Hindi,
I don't care.
hindi, kasi sa last round, nasa tagilid ako, nag-Junisha. Sa kalaban ni Doc Pao. Oh, remember, I'm rooting for my boy.
Lands.
That actually there's that wasn't the first time that one of our team was called Stage Mom, because back in 2017 when our boy
Oh.
Dunstan got top 8 in GP Manila, and I was
Hmm.
screaming my lungs out next to him because the rest of the guys went to eat breakfast or lunch. So I was the only one there screaming like, yeah, top 8. The organizer asked me, are you is that your son? Are you his dad? Knowing that Dunstan is way older than me, so is that your dad? I'm like, yes. Sad to
Yes.
say.
Tapos, sa ano,
Sad
Busoy
to,
was saying, RC sa Singapore, stage man daw tayo with your son. Was there taking photos.
Yeah, same
yeah.
thing happened. Like
Yun,
everyone was
yeah.
quiet.
Yes, everyone was quiet.
Nagpalo na sila. Yeah.
Bahala mo do.
I,
Yeah, and there goes
Top
Doc
8.
Pao again.
that,
Died.
Okay.
yep, that is siguro one of my goals for 2024 is to really join you guys with these kind of events. So like I'll be your hype man, I'll be your photographer, I'll be your announcer, everything. Just I need to be
All
there with
right.
you guys next year.
You
Okay.
should
I
be,
think
Carlo. You should be.
Yeah.
the reception for Doc Pao is wavering. So Doc Pao, we're not gonna keep you
Yep.
Yeah, he really had to wait. He
That's
just
Doc Pao
left.
right there. That's Doc Pao. That's Doc Pao there.
eminence in shadow na po si
Ito
Doc
Doc
Pao.
Pao eh. In the screen.
Uh, Doc, are you still there?
Yo, yeah, I'm still here. Just
Doc,
Hold on.
the
okay.
cam
He's
So
there. He's there.
so bad.
while you're still there, I'm going to ask you something. I don't want to keep you so much longer anymore because the internet is not in our favor. I just want to
Yeah.
ask you your match up during the event, what deck you played and why.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Doc, Doc.
Doc? Igalaw yung maso.
Oh, it's still no. I think it's still getting the internet is still catching up.
Ping.
Can you
Oh
hear me?
no. Yeah, I can hear you. I can
Yeah.
hear you. I was asking about the match up. How was your journey to top 8? Cruising ba? Is it cruising altitude? And do you think Fury should be banned?
You're mean.
Ayan, wala na si
Hello?
Doc Pao.
Oh no, Doc! No!
It's okay. It happens, guys. It
Internet,
happens.
why? Why?
I
It
mean,
happens.
if you guys want an answer, I can vouch for him because he was the one who talked to me about his run during the
Yeah, yeah.
modern 200K.
Mm.
So from what I understood, based on our discussion, Doc Pao actually felt nervous going into the tournament. In the first, after the first round, when he got the win, it suddenly felt natural to him running the deck. I think it was getting over the nerves was the important part because he knew that he already did his part on the preparation. Like overnight, he was studying all the matchups and what sideboard cards to get into. Like even though he brought the notes, like he made sure that he knew the intent of those sideboard cards going into those matchups. So like he would always ask like why would I bring this into the matchup? Why is this in the list in my guide? So para it felt natural after that. And then we always kept talking about getting into the zone. Like if you really felt like you're gonna get it, like it's just gonna translate into the games. So win after win after win, and then you really start getting that momentum in your favor. So I think that was Doc Pau's experience in running the deck. Oh, so the deck he was running was Rakdos Scam. If you guys aren't familiar, which was also banned last
Rakdos
night.
evoke. Evoke.
Game plan of the Rakdos Scam is to literally scam your opponent with the super powerful cards from Modern Rises 2, Fury, and Grief. So, two ways to win. You either take out all of his cards with Grief into
Mm.
Not Dead After All or Undying Evil, or you just cheat in a 4-3 double strike with a 3-turn clock. So, you be the judge of that. So,
Nicely done, nicely done. Nicely done. Okay. So, among the top 8, I would probably ask, ilan yung scam?
one, I think surprisingly, because see
Doc Pa only.
Because what happened was
Yes, sir.
in the middle of the tournament, like round 4, round 5, there were a lot of top tables in Scam. like scam players playing
I
mirrors all
see.
over the place. So and then I think
Scammers versus scammers.
they dwindled. Like Craig was prime for top eight in about
Oh,
like
yes,
the
yes.
last round. He went up against Bunny. Shoutouts to your boy Bunny for being a
Mm.
sportsmanship. They went to the last round. He played Rhinos, and then game three they had a very intense match where they just get went back and forth, top decking na, and then Bunny just was so lucky. He was top decking after top decking like 3 or 4 turns straight, where Craig could have won already on the spot, but he just had the nuts, man. Like dead gun into like violent outbursts, and like it was just grinding it out until the very last turn where he got a win. So and then that's where Craig kind of fell short with
I
his
see, I
deck.
see.
Yeah,
You
and that
can't
was the win and in.
really
That was the win and in for both
uh,
of them. So very
what would you
intense.
call this? You can't thought seize the top deck, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
guess top deck
Of
still
course not.
king.
Laina ng sa Fate
I
Steel.
mean, to be honest, like even though personally, based on how the modern like shifted in the meta for the past
Hmm.
year, if I were to choose, like right in that moment when if I joined that event, I would have picked Rhinos as well because it's just way more balanced in terms of dealing all the decks in the matchup, uh, and it was also primed to beat the best deck in the format, which is Rakdos Scam, and Bunny
Speaking
totally proved it.
of rhinos, did Tita Mary play rhinos?
No, she played her favorite deck, which was Hammer Time. So
Hammer time, hammer time.
yeah,
So
and she
explain
leads
this
with
Guys,
photo.
guys, by the way, Doc Pao sent his matchups. Round one was
Hmm.
against the Mirror. Round two was
Hmm.
Murktide. Round three was Blue White Ring Control. Round four was
Okay.
Affinity. Round five was Omnath Beans. And round
Okay.
six was Merfolk. So very diverse
Diverse.
matchups for Doc
yeah,
for
that
that
Ah,
day.
and then
I'm asking
he
where
he
he lost.
dodged all the scammers.
yeah, except the
Best.
first round.
Yep.
Except the first round. Mirror on the first round.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Doc Pao. It's very lag.
Okay,
But
okay.
yep, we're talking about the events, and we read this. No, thank you very much for joining us, Doc Pao. No problem.
Yeah. Much appreciated, Doc. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for taking out
and
some time
if
to
you
join us. Yeah.
if you want like a short description of how his matches went, he just said like, okay, I'm gonna play Thoughtseize and I'll take your Solitude, and then I'll just scam Grief, take out all your cards. And then opponents like play land pass, play land pass.
According kang Doc, guys, all of these
Yeah,
matchups, undefeated siya.
yeah.
Oh,
There,
easy,
except for
easy.
one, I think there was one game. I think it was Beans where he just lost one round, and then but then
Yeah,
all the games he won like straight up.
two
So
zero. So the
it proves
breakers is
that
off the charts.
yeah, it proves that Scam is really the best deck in the format. Before the bannings.
I would
So
dispute, pero I think it also comes with the player. Then I think, tama ba?
yeah, that as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's why
So,
we started calling him. We started calling Doc Pao the scam expert because he just learned the
The
deck
scam
in like less than
expert.
a week.
Wow.
scam expert.
Wow.
But he really did his
Wow.
homework. I want to give props to Doc Paulo for doing his homework. Like the night before, he was really like just reading all the matchups, and during the
He did
week
his homework.
he practiced on MTGO, like how the deck worked, and then played a couple of playtesting matches with Craig, especially the mirror, because they really were expecting the mirror matches, which kind of did.
Okay.
Especially like Craig. Shout out to Craig. He had a very crazy mirror match. But we'll get into that next time when we get him into the stream.
For sure, for sure. From left to right, we do have Miss Mary. We have Craig. We have the return,
Yes. Fafa
Martin
Martin.
Hildawa, the legend
No,
himself,
the legend.
back
He's
from his training.
finally back to playing. And he's actually we had a lot of conversations with the current state of Magic, and he's very excited to play standard again because that's always been
Nice.
his go-to format. Modern, like he just plays it because he has the cards. But overall, like he keeps telling me like the format is so hard. I mean, yeah, that's why it's modern.
How about this guy?
So shout outs to Daniel Akusar.
That's
So that's
Dane,
Dane. Shout out
attorney
to Dane.
Dane.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hello, Sir
magazine.
Dane.
he's also from Team Cebu. So he
Got you. Magus
he
Games.
went to play
And of
scam.
course,
He was Doc Pau's first round. He was the scammer.
ah,
Oh,
I see, I see.
And
funny.
I see, I see.
he told me he wanted to play Affinity, but he couldn't finish the deck on time, so he just ended up playing
I
scam.
see. It's also, I think like Dito's SG, their tech against Rakdos was ano, 'di ba? Scales.
Yeah,
They're
scales.
saying that
Scales.
it has a better matchup though.
Yeah,
Dane was my
scales
round
is very
one.
good.
Yep, Doc Pao. Then we also have, of course, what do you call this? Uh, Gerson
The pro
and
player, the pro
no,
player.
the
Who's that pro
the
player?
pro player himself.
TD
Next,
Bappo.
okay, this photo. Who is the guy in the middle?
All right, so I love this photo. It was well caught. Thank you to Philip Rama for the pick. So in the middle, right there is Sir Ferds. He is the main uh, owner, I believe, of Got Games events. So he is the organizer for the Modern 200K and the Pioneer, or not Pioneer, but Popper 50K, as well as the One Piece card event 50K. So shout outs to Sir Ferds and the team. It was very well run. The events were smooth. The food was great. Uh, a little bit late, but it was great. There's a lot of food. We
Yeah,
ate a lot, and the
food.
t-shirts were nice. Like we got free t-shirts on both days, and
Nice.
um, I just don't want to get into the t-shirts though, but there's a lot of
Yeah,
intricacies with um, their t-shirts. But it was very nice. It was a very nice person as well to talk to. I also got to talk to some of the owners of the shops from all over the country over there, just hanging out. Some of them were playing as well. It was also nice, and it was quite humbling
yeah.
to hear their stories as well. Um, I
True that.
remember, I forgot where that what there was one guy who owns a shop. Um, he had a lot of struggle with surviving COVID because everyone was like
Mm-hmm,
just at
mm-hmm.
home. So the way they like weathered out the pandemic was just
The pandemic,
basically
yeah.
sell singles. Everyone was still buying singles, even like at their homes. So that's how they did
Yeah.
it back
Which
then.
was weird.
We
Yeah.
survive. We survive. Anyway,
Yeah.
just to cut you off a bit, just will acknowledge the people in the chat watching right now. Sir Denzel, good evening. Thank you for joining us today. We also have Shinata. Thank you, Tin, for joining us. We also have Bottle Grounds by Crave Cafe. Thank you
Hi,
guys for
Jordan. Hello,
joining us.
Jordan.
Mr. Jorn, thank you, thank you. We have Chris, friend of the channel, friend of the store, Chris Kuwan. Thank you for joining us. Who else? We have Starry. Mr.
Yo,
Starry is watching us as well.
Hello.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us
hello,
today. Our 12 viewers. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. All right, continue. What's up
Also,
mga titos? Official
yeah,
TD
I
Coffee.
also got
Top Deck Games.
my weekly fix
Powered
of
by Crave.
coffee. Yeah, I got my weekly fix of coffee from Battlegrounds Crave Cafe. Shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much. Napuno na po ng fridge. Oto na excited di ko po. I got the matcha.
let's go, let's go,
That
let's go.
matcha though. Yep, yep.
So I think that probably wraps up our first segment wherein we talk about what happened during the weekend. I know
Uh-huh,
that we
uh-huh.
have a lot more information upcoming, pero currently, because we have Doc Pao on stream, we're just gonna cut it short there. So we're going to transition to our next segment, everyone, and let's talk about TD Finance. If you guys are,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
let's go TD Finance.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Stop impressing us. Damn it. That was nice. Quality content
Sorry about
only
that.
here on Top Deck Games.
I call this
Wow.
the wow segment. Wow, wow.
Oh,
So,
wow,
if
wow.
you guys know, we
Oh,
have
wow.
the daily movers and shakers right here.
Yeah.
Let's
Mhm.
talk about. Siguro, I think the eminent what do you call this? The prime conversation right now is
Pioneer
modern,
pre.
of course,
Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah.
and also Pioneer. So let's go about
Yep.
modern right now. Let's look at the weekly change because the daily change is a bit it's a bit erratic. As you can see, we do have a couple
Yeah.
of percentile movement above. So the way you look at it is that you have a percentile movement here, which is 4%, 16%, so on and so forth. But the actual price movement or change is here on the left hand side. So that's how we read this. And then we're just going to talk about a couple of things on top. So for the weekly movers, I think a couple of things that are what do you call this stuck very much in my mind right now is that why is why do we have Mero Commerce? Do you guys know what
Ah,
this card is?
Ah,
fish.
it's the
Oh,
pre-con
there's
deck.
some tubag.
The pre-con deck from Ixalan, Hakbal is making waves in the EDH format, especially the casual. So a lot of people are trying to pick up these Merfolk cards and adding them to the deck. So it's no brainer. That's why the movement of these random Merfolk cards that you never
Random
get to
merfolk
see.
cards. Cards that have no business being more than $1.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Craigie. Our one of our top eighters last weekend as well. Craigie, shout out to you. Sorry na ako dinner. It's all right, Craigie. We will have you probably next week if you're free. Yep.
nicely done, nicely
Continue,
done.
boss.
So as a our resident Merfolk expert, is this something you are
Resident fish.
considering to put in the deck? Why is
Into
it
that.
$4?
EDH, yeah, because you have
Ah,
cards like they have a lot. There are actually a couple of
Not
merfolks that
goldfish.
are dorks. Like they add blue mana or colorless mana, and then you could cast like kicker spells or instant spells, sorcery spells. So just by untapping them means like that's additional mana. So if you're into casual, then that's like the perfect card for you. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like running at $20 right now because that card is old. It's from Lorwyn. It's a very old
No
set,
reprint, if I'm not mistaken.
and we have yet to go back to Lorwyn so far.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god,
true, true.
that's true, that's true.
Because I think this
Speaking
is the
of like
fourth.
old cards, no? Yeah, go
Yeah,
on, sorry.
in January we're already having Ravnica
Our
remastered
fourth.
and murders of at Karlov Manson.
Carlo Manor.
Manor. It's
Yep, yep,
happening on the Ravnica plane, so that's like the
yep.
fourth time we're going back to that plane.
Fourth time. So on, man. Yep,
So
yep.
yeah,
All right. So looking at the numbers right here, guys, you could see that the Mero commerce is actually up 31%, but it
Okay.
actually went down 19% on a daily. So that what that means is that it went really up and then is trying to normalize at the end of the week. So you would probably, as you
Yep.
said, TD Baps, this price set would probably be around $15 to $20, considering the actual Merfolk tides out there. Mind Break Trap also saw a couple of resurgence, but I think this is
Whoa.
mostly done by Legacy. I don't think this is mostly done for a
So
modern.
mythic.
Haven't seen this one deck being card being played, pero if I'm not mistaken, this could also be against Rhinos. Pero I haven't seen this deck as of yet. Honestly, it's mostly done for ang tech ng iba is mostly they just go for Commandeer, which I believe the price has already normalized. A couple of things for the top losers then as well, guys. As you could see, Grief and Orcish Bowmaster actually went down the price, and I think this is because there was speculation before the ban list last yesterday, and they were speculating that either Grief or um, uh, as we
Bowmaster,
know, Grief or what do you call this?
Fury.
Um,
Fury.
Fury would be banned. So kaya you would see them both dip in price. Usually this happens to the top decks whenever a ban announcement is imminent. The Chalice of the Void actually just normalized in price. You could see it's just $2 down, and everything else is basically just trying to normalize their prices. It's not that significant except for the Grief. As you could see, it's 10%. So that's how we're going to read this.
Oh,
And
man.
now let's go to Pioneer.
Kana. Oh,
Mm.
kana.
Up
Yeah.
325%. Let's go!
Upon before we started streaming, gentlemen, that's already at $13. That's not $4 anymore.
Oh, I
That's
see, I see.
thirteen
Buy
dollars
high,
now.
never sell.
Actually, in Japan, they're selling it for like 2,000 yen. So that's around like $9. Or no, not nine
Yeah.
dollars, like nineteen
By that
dollars.
time, it's 12 now.
So
Yeah.
So,
crazy. Got my playset here.
Yep.
question. Did we
Question.
who burned 12 smugglers captor? I did.
Why'd you burn them? Why'd you
You burned them?
Yeah.
Seryoso?
Did you really hate the card?
No, kasi I felt super bad.
Wow.
This happened to me before kasi before I also tried to hoard a lot of skull clamps and then it got banned. When I say hoard, it's not that I'm not using it. It's just because I have a lot of decks that use the card. So rather than transfer the cards before, what I intend to do was just buy them low because I think it's gonna go up in price. And then they get banned. I have that curse. Then it happened against Smuggler's Copter. So I was distraught a little bit. So lesson learned, guys. Never ever do that. Just keep it on the side. You'll never know what Watsy will smoke will do. Helicopter.
Yeah. I mean,
Helicopter, helicopter.
it is what it
Did
is. Like,
anybody see that? Did anybody see that coming?
I did because there were already signs that the copter was gonna get unbanned. Last week when we checked the price, Smuggler's copter was actually running at $3. It went really up for some reason. Like, so I was like,
Mm.
okay, so that means like a lot of people are speculating that it was gonna get unbanned because last week Watsy made a stream where they discussed on actually unbanning a card for the Pioneer format. So there are a lot of speculations. So you could think of what's the most likely to get unbanned. And then some streamers and content creators made some tier lists on which cards that are banned would probably get unbanned. And yeah, I think Copter was like at the high. It was like not. It was more like them expecting that it could get unbanned, but they're not sure how it would implicate in the metagame. So like it was there up in the air. Then I guess
I
the bots
see.
were
I
like
see.
buying out some cards.
Actually, is it a good thing? I'd probably say yes. I
Yeah,
would encourage WotC to unban cards that doesn't really need to be banned anymore and put them back into circulation.
yeah.
Is
That was
is
the
there a effect in WotC downline? Maybe, maybe not. But it's positive to the community. So this is a good
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do you call this? Good impact for me. I just don't. I'm just not sure about the Smuggler's Copter's impact. I would also encourage them to unban Simian Spirit Guide if
Ano na
now
Here
here
we
we
go
go
again.
again. Yeah,
Here we
I'll
go
die
again.
by my own sword. I'll die on a hill if I have to. Unban Simian Spirit Guide. Labas
let's talk
That's
na,
about
that's
the
the that's that's the hill you're gonna die on, pre.
turn.
hell probably. Let's talk about the curveball. Banning Karn the Great Creator. As you could see, it's actually losing
That
Yeah, yeah.
I was not
value.
expecting that. I was not
Uh,
expecting that.
I was expecting that, but I wanted Nykthos to go away instead
That
because
made more sense.
because like let's face it, the deck Mono Green Devotion is just one card away from getting another combo that they could just make up
Yep,
with. Like,
that's true.
like
For
banning
for
Karn is not really gonna do anything in the format. Like, in fact, it's the opposite. Because if you could imagine banning Nykthos and then they'll just play Karn, like it's fine. It's just
it's
like
fine. It's
pretty
fair. It's
it's pretty
fair.
slow.
It's
But if you
fair.
have Nykthos on the field, like that's just ugh. But yeah,
For
Monogame definitely
actually,
lost its legs
yeah,
with Karn right there.
true.
I don't think
For
it
So
me,
deserved the ban.
go ahead, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it for
Go
me.
on, go
I,
Yep.
on. So
Yep.
I think for this specific segment, right? I don't think Karn
Mm.
would lose so much value. So guys, don't worry,
It
don't
won't.
sell.
Probably won't.
Yeah, it
yeah,
won't.
don't tell. I think it's
It's still a thing on in modern. Tron still loves
Correct.
that the hell out of that card, so it's fine in
and the
modern
more
still.
It's also
artifacts
played
they
in
print, the
Legacy.
more yeah, the more Karn becomes very very valuable.
Extra
So
strong. Karn did
Karn
nothing
did
wrong.
nothing.
Actually,
Yep.
it's kind of it. It seemed to be like if their purpose was to unban the copter in the first place, taking out Karn would have been a good idea as well because Karn turns off the copter. But yeah,
Mm.
still.
So that's it for my segment, and now I want to transition to the deck top deck of the week. If you guys
oh,
are all right, let's go.
yeah, that was a very cool segment. Thank you so much, Ray Erickson. So,
Mm.
um, last minute, I just got back from Manila for the GG Nats and couldn't get to prepare like top decks of the week. So I just have a top deck of the week, which is my favorite deck, Merfolk and
Fish.
Modern. Yeah, the fish
Let's
are back in the
go!
field.
Let's go!
So,
We're back. How does it feel that Fury is no longer there? How does it feel
uh,
for?
I'm actually glad, but at the same time I'm scared for the meta. But I
Oh.
mean, it's just how Merfolk does. They just adapt to the meta. That's why they're always at C tier. They're never top tier. They're just there. They're the new humans. So the reason why I picked Merfolk, not just as the top deck of the week, but the deck that I chose to play last weekend was because uh, it basically when I look at the list of the decks to beat, Merfolk has all the tools to do that because they have two new cards in the deck. One of them is Tishana's Tidebinder. Uh, it's
Love
just a
that
very
card.
powerful card,
Goodness.
especially in modern, like in a modern perspective. Countering a triggered or activated ability is very good. But what makes this card so good is the ability to shut down artifacts, creatures, and or planeswalkers when their
Yep.
abilities are countered. So they basically
Yep.
become like
Yep.
a vanilla card when they do something
They're
wrong.
vegetables now.
Yeah, I got like I'm not afraid of Teferi at this point because I could just like shut him down when he like tries to bounce your Aether Vial. Like I just cheat in a Tidebinder and then I could just ignore him
You
for a couple
can't
of turns.
though.
Yeah.
Which the fairy? Three fairy? You can't.
Huh?
Because
No,
you have
when
to.
I have Aether Vial on
You
three, I
have
can attack him.
vial. Okay. You have vial.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry.
So that
You have
like I'm
vial
not afraid of
then.
it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Sorry. There's vial.
Cascade.
Oh.
Channel looks
Like
like a colorful cabbage.
Usoy is such a.
so like and
Soy, that's your job next week. So you make a colorful cabbage in the form of Tishana.
Shana.
That's your job next week.
so and Tidebinder is like the card that really got up into the modern meta
Yep.
space. So it's already in Rhinos, it's already in some blue decks like Murktide. Sometimes Murktide runs that now. It's just a very good card. 3/2 body flash that can basically it even stifle your like fetch lands. Like
Your
it
fetch.
happened a lot of times during the tournaments. A lot of people got caught off guard with this card. So uh,
Stifle your fetch.
it's very very good. So and the most important thing about this card is it shuts down the scam cards like Fury and Solitude, so or Grief. So if they come in, they try to kill your stuff. You just flash in Tidebinder, it shuts it down. So if he does the evoke, so he just loses it. So you just pray that he doesn't have the scam. Otherwise, if he just does the evoke, the normal evoke, then Tidebinder can definitely shut it down very easily. So
Yep. Yep.
so good. The other card that I was very excited about to play
Yeah.
was the Deep Root Pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is a 2 mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token Merfolk taps, create a 1/1 Merfolk creature token with hexproof. So this is a very big deal, especially against slow decks, against Rakdos Evoke, because they have access to Fury, which they like to kill your stuff. That's usually the weakness for Merfolk. If opponent has ways to sort of like board wipe your threats, then you're somewhat behind on the board now. But with Pilgrimage, you can always have that sticking power of threats on the board. Like he can't even interact with them because they're hexproof, so you can't target them. So and then if you have cards like Mutavault and Rishon and Dockhand just tapping every turn, so you're generating one token every other turn or every turn. So on your turn and in your opponent's turn. So that's two tokens if it's just one pilgrimage on the board. So imagine if you have
Oh
like
god,
two, three,
multiples.
four copies of pilgrimage and you're just making four copies of merfolks a turn. You'll definitely take over the board very quickly. So I'm definitely loving the new cards from Merfolk. And what's special about this list is the uh, this list was inspired from Nikachu. Shout out to Nikachu, our Canadian Merfolk master. He was trying to find a list for the current metagame. He says that Merfolk Trickster is no longer has his place right now. It's very normal for some of these staples to like go away, like Silvergill Adept. You don't see Silvergill Adept nowadays in some Merfolk decks because of Orcish Bowmasters. Like you just get blown out by that card. Like it's like three for one.
That's true. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
it gets a
Deep
two
Root
two
Pilgrimage.
or army and
Yuck.
just blows out
This is so
your
yuck, man.
adept.
Whenever one or more non-token merfolk you control becomes tapped, create a 1/1 blue merfolk creature with hexproof. With hexproof! Jesus Christ.
Because it can.
Oh,
Because
it can.
it's
Oh my god.
actually it's actually a callback to another enchantment from the previous Ixalan, but it was free to cast, and it said whenever you did cast a merfolk, you make a friend. So this
Agree,
one is
agree.
way better at 2 mana, and all you need to do is tap your friends. It's
Yeah.
strong. It can just note Gerson has four four or three sets of lords in the deck. Three, right? Or
No,
four.
no. No. So I have the Vodalian Hexcatcher. I don't consider Hexcatcher as a lord. I see her as more of a counter spell, an
Hmm.
early
That is a
interaction.
counter spell. Sure,
So,
sure, sure.
and with Deeproot Pilgrimage, you basically just shut down all of your opponent's spells because you have multiple copies of Merfolks already on the field. So you can just
Uh-huh.
sacrifice them and counter your opponent's stuff. So that's how
Yeah.
I
How
see
did it do?
Hexcatcher.
How did the deck do?
The deck
How did the deck
went really well because I went 5-2-1. I actually could have won
The
the
other
sixth
one,
round
right? 6
because
run.
yeah I went against Belcher. We went to tie because my opponent was really taking his time because he said like, "Ah, yeah, this is a bad matchup." I know it is a bad matchup because I have counter spells in the deck. uh, yeah, but he was able to resolve like recross the paths and just try to fix his top deck. I was just trying to race. Things got really intense, and then yeah, we timed out. Unfortunately, I locked him out on the third game with Chalice of the Void for two, so he can't like
Hmm.
do multiple cantrips and what do you call
Uh,
this rituals. So he
yep,
couldn't
the
get to the
rituals.
yeah, he couldn't get to the point where he would overload and do his combo. At the same time, he had Fury. His Fury came out from the sideboard, and then he casted Balagan Recovery, getting Fury again, and then he pitched it again. So I'm like, I need to find a way to stop this. Like,
Oi,
but I
oi,
couldn't. So
welcoming to the stream, Mr.
hello,
RJ.
hello,
Welcome, welcome,
Congratulations!
welcome.
Woo!
Congratulations,
congrats,
RJ. Welcome to the stream. We're not expecting you. Hello,
congrats,
welcome.
RJ.
This is a funny thing because RJ bought smuggler's copter like uh, bought a set, sold a set, bought a set, sold a set three
So that's it.
times, I think, or four.
So, Sir RJ, do you have Smuggler's Copter? Do you have the helicopters now? They're up,
Hindi balik niya na
$13
niya.
at Atama or $20. $15?
No sold on
Forgot
niya
the
kay.
lines.
But anyway, Sir
Oh, I
RJ,
see.
welcome to the stream. We also have um Arol, Mr. Dreadmo himself. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry they didn't reprint Dreadmo, Colossal Dreadmo. So yeah,
All right.
it's the
Okay,
wrong
okay.
Dreadmo. It's the wrong Dreadmo.
So if you guys didn't know, also what do you call this? TD Baps finished, of course, with money finish. You know how it is. It's going to be ROI City, ROI City ba? Tama ba ako? Or
ROI
hindi?
City. We
Slightly
should coin
below
that.
ROI.
Let's coin that just because.
um, I would probably say na I wasn't surprised about the deck choice, primarily because that's the comfort zone, and also as you made mention, the power level of Merfolk right now. They're actually, I feel like they're pushing this tribal, and I think it's
The
gonna go
tribal
places
decks,
actually.
yeah.
The problem is siguro ano na lang, trying to find the perfect mixture. Yun yung issue, I think.
Anyway, for
Guaranteed.
me, with Fury out of the picture, I am very confident that these tribal decks will come out in droves. Spirits, humans, merfolk, yeah,
Goblins, let's go.
goblins.
Hello, are you back?
Hello.
There's
Hello.
there.
Yeah,
He's back.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you were saying final thoughts on the deck
Yeah.
itself?
Final thoughts on the deck.
So final thoughts. I loved it. I mean, you know me. I love Merfolk. So
Nice.
yeah, going back to what I said, Merfolk is a good choice to pick. I would wait out for the meta right now because Fury just got banned. Up the Beanstalk just got
Mm.
banned. So I think the
Yes!
prime
Yes!
leaders.
Yes! Yes!
So I think the prime leaders in the meta would be Yawgmoth, Murktide, and what were those two decks? The Cascade decks, Living End and Rhinos, because they didn't get hit.
Rhinos.
Like and
Hmm. You
yeah,
know
I would
why
bet on
I
Rhinos.
didn't like Beanstalk? It's just dumb. You put it
Ayaw ba?
anywhere, it just works.
Eh,
I mean,
one of us plays Beanstalk. Ayaw ba?
you can
One of
still
us
play
plays
you can
Beanstalk.
still play it in Pioneer. I think it's still fine. Honestly, I think it was fine if they didn't ban it. In my personal opinion, like it's
No,
whatever.
no. It's too strong. It's too strong. It's breaking the green deck shouldn't have a draw spell, okay?
Oh, I love it because it's from Eldraine. Because they broke it again. They
Yeah.
broke the meta again.
Yeah.
If it ain't a planeswalker, it's something very disgusting. It's an uncommon. That's gonna break the
I
meta.
like it. I like it. But honestly, it's kind of okay. Shake it up from time to time.
Mhm.
I'll give it. I'll give
Yeah,
it to them.
I
All
can't
right.
wait for return to Eldraine for the third
Return to
time.
return to Eldraine.
Make another broken
The
card.
Wilds of Eldraine
Okay.
will have one. Castles of Eldraine personal.
I'm more excited about Pioneer because they just unbanned Copter, which means I can get to play Merfolk again.
Helicopter,
Helicopter,
helicopter.
helicopter. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna run it. Everyone's gonna run it. Like aggro mid
For
I
range.
sure,
already
for
got
sure.
my set because
Biggest
some people in CDO are like being dicks about it, so I had to find my set elsewhere.
oh, that's how we do it, baby.
Gracious.
This is our Copters.
Lagi.
By the
Have to
way,
find a
guys,
way.
we have a current promo right now in Top Deck. It's just a little bit of fun for fun. If you have a playset of Smuggler's Copter, be sure to take a selfie with them, like stand
Mhm.
proud, take a picture, and share
Stand
it
proud.
on your share it on your social media on Facebook and tag us, tag Top Deck Games, saying Scooter Looter is back, and you might just
Yes.
win yourself a Cons of Tarkir booster pack.
Nice,
Hey.
nice. I like it. I
There
like
you
it.
go.
I
There you
like
go.
it.
I think I
So,
have
Hey,
like a
Jer,
couple of
I wanted
these
to
from.
I wanted
make
to
sure
ask
it's yours,
on make
Make
sure
sure
I know.
Hey!
No, it doesn't need to be theirs. Gerson said it
does it
doesn't
need
need to be
It doesn't
theirs.
does it
need
need
to
to be
be.
theirs?
So
It
Okay.
doesn't
I
need
want
to
to
be
see.
theirs.
I want to see some copters. I want to see some copters on Facebook. So
Yeah.
Let's also be creative about it, guys, di ba?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
we'll choose the most
I
creative one. Let's
yeah.
proceed. That being said, let's proceed to the last segment of the night.
Let's
Judge
go.
call.
Hello. Such a
All
nice
right.
intro.
Hello.
Anyway, hello everyone. So yeah, we will be having a regular segment, every TD talks. Not probably every, but we'll see. But every episode of our mini judge call, we will have a interaction. We will have an interaction that we will talk about, and then we'll ask the audience if they can get the right answer to the interaction. So for today's episode, active player AP casts Reckless Rage targeting his Skirt Prospector and targets
Mm.
non-active player Snaps Grizzly Bear. So that is the situation. Here are your questions. Number one, can active player sacrifice his Prospector to pay for the Reckless Rage? And number two, if Prospector dies before Reckless Rage resolves, will the spell still resolve even if one target is invalid?
Oh,
Hello.
this is quite tricky.
What prospector? Who was that?
The Kirk
Skirt.
Prospector, that
The
one.
one in the
The skirt.
photo. In the photo.
The
I
skirt,
I
yep.
don't I don't see it.
It's
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 really,
there.
you don't see that, no? You don't see
I
the slide.
see I see Carlo like with the judge call.
Huh?
Maybe it's my internet.
Ah,
Hold on.
it's your internet, bro. So
Skirt
skirt
Prospector Jer,
prospector,
sacrifice a goblin, add one red.
yeah,
Uh,
that's his ability.
Yep.
Want to cast 1/1, sacrifice a
Yep.
goblin, add 1 red.
okay,
Yep.
so and then the
So
judge question is
Number one, can the active player sacrifice Skirt Prospector to pay for Reckless Rage? And two, if Prospector dies before Reckless Rage resolves, will the spell still resolve even if one target is invalid?
yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
That's how I
yes
Yes,
and
would,
let's
yes.
show.
if I understood it right, because it's kind of like the situation where you cast thought cast and then you're paying
Mm-hmm.
it with chromatic star, so you're paying it in
Yeah.
advance. So that's how I
Mm-hmm.
understand it. And then the second one is a no-brainer. Like I've seen it
No brainer.
a lot of times back in
Lot of
standard. All the interactions of like the guy dies, but you already had a target, so it's still going to resolve. So you still get four
Nag-hedge,
damage.
nag-hedge si Doc Pao. 1
and
no,
like
2 yes. Okay.
What? But he
Hedge.
just said yes, yes. What the hell, Doc?
Unsa man gyud, Doc? Unsa man gyud? Anyway, yep. So these are the quick little interactions you see. The answer is for number one, yes.
Hey.
Casting spells, guys, follows a
Particular order.
particular order. So they're on the screen right now. So one is announcing, meaning you are announcing I'm gonna cast this spell. So moving the card from your hand to or from your hand from or any other zone to the stack. The next is choices. In choices, you choose how to cast, how to pay, and the value for X if it has X.
Mhm.
The next is targets. You announce your targets at this stage. Number four, how to divide up. I sorry. Number four. This is for targets. For example, hex. You need to choose 6 different targets. For number four, how to divide. Applicable where the player divides values of a spell like arc lightning. Next is total cost determination. So we have the discounts first, then the taxes, then always last, Trinisphere. Then next, mana abilities. Specific window to activate mana abilities, and number 7, paying of cost. Now, for our situation, we already chose our targets at number 3. So
Mm.
that was the third step. When we reach to paying man abilities, we certainly can sacrifice our skirt prospector because that is a mana ability. So that is our window. So we have already locked in the targets. So it is perfectly okay to sacrifice skirt prospector. Also, like Gerson mentioned, with affinity with thoughtcast, you can use your what was that, chromatic star, to give you the mana to cast it because the discounts and taxes were already determined at 5. Then you can use your mana ability at step 6. All right. Next.
Yo, this is really good.
So, yep.
Okay, okay. Next,
Yep.
next,
So
next.
yep. And next, number 2. Yes, as long as the spell still has legal targets. Even if the other targets are invalid, the spell will still attempt to resolve as much as it can. If you guys are familiar with modal spells, for example, Kolaghan's command, destroy target artifact and deal 2 damage to one target. If one
Mm,
is invalid, as long as the other one is still valid, it will still try to resolve as much as it can. So I'm
mm.
not gonna read that whole thing that I'm just giving the source of um the CR comprehensive rule 608.2b. So yeah, is
Oh.
it
Nice,
because
nice.
it doesn't matter, Sir Denzel? We have a question here. It is it because wala siya period? No, it doesn't matter if na period or not, as long as our targets are still valid or comma. Yep, yep.
Or
Doesn't
comma.
matter as
Uh-huh.
long as
Doesn't
it's
matter.
there. It doesn't matter.
Okay, this is
Right.
very interesting. So I came across a short then for this one. Carl,
Yep.
there was a short for this one, and then they were talking about the two ways to pay for it. So the first one, the complicated one was the one that you explained.
Yep.
That's like the proper way. Pero there's
Yep.
also another one now wherein that's the most beginner friendly. So that's why they think that that's how it goes. Wherein you float
Mm-hmm.
your mana first and then you cast the spell.
Yep. I
Yeah. So
it's okay if you do it out of order, but usually it will follow that. Like if you did things like without shortcuts, that's
mm,
fine if you do like that. But if you float your mana first, that's still okay, because at when we reach step 6, when reach step 7, we will already have the mana available to pay for it, even if you did
agree,
float your
agree.
mana
But
daan.
what I'm
So
trying
it's
to
all
say
good.
here is that
Mm,
most of like the basic players coming in, they wouldn't
mm-mm.
know these types of steps first. Now,
Yeah.
this is the actual casting. In
Mm-mm.
Moto, as you know, I'm a
Yes, in
terrible Moto
Modo.
player. So
Mm.
Uh-huh.
you can actually float mana whenever it's your priority. It doesn't
Yes.
matter if you have spells on stack. So
Mm-hmm.
once you float that mana, yung nakagisnan ng mga newer players is that you tap your mana, you float your mana, you sacrifice your goblin, then you cast the spell. That's why they don't know about this specific
About these
interaction.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So this is very
Especially
helpful.
if you go to more tricky interactions, like
Mm.
what Gerson said with affinity and sacrificing, for example, what you call this,
What
treasures,
is the
or as
Riot of
well,
97?
Riot of 97. What is that?
Mm.
Give us some context there, Anton. Yeah, like it's nice to have this segment, because like you said, the newer players are not aware of these kind of interactions
Mm.
where you can do this and do that. When while researching this particular scenario, there was a I lot of other examples, like what Gerson said, affinity, also with convoke as well. That's another thing
Convoke,
that we
yes.
look at, convoke. So yeah.
One example I know was Wall of Roots, right? The -1/-1
Yes.
thing. Then you can actually,
Oh yeah.
if you can convoke even if it dies. Kasi you can tap it
Mm-hmm.
first and
Mm-hmm.
then pay for the mana. And then they say dying, yung state-based happens uh, only after a spell resolves. Tama ba?
Yes, that is correct.
State-based checks
That is
only
correct.
happens. So even if
Mm-mm.
0-0 Wall of Roots,
Yep.
it stays in play while it pays for the Chord of Calling. So it
Yes,
dies
that is correct.
while it was
Yeah, that is correct.
singing.
Yep, that is correct. State-based actions will check once the spell is done resolving. So even if you've already paid your stuff, if your spell includes pumping it, it still can. Okay, I understand already. Just to give context on what Anton said. Thank you for reminding me. When the rules of Magic were still like mud and still not set in stone,
Mm.
there was this player in a very high level tournament. I like the Pro Tour, finals of a Pro Tour. It was very hype. This was the time when players, where Magic tournaments were still being streamed live on ESPN without
Really?
sleeves. Yes,
ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it again,
ESPN,
guys.
ESPN 2. I think they had a
Two.
second channel.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Okay.
there was this one player who was about to win. Who was about to win just by casting one more spell. He was about to win, but turns prior, he always casted the spell before tapping his lands, which is
Mm,
sometimes some players do that now. So he would put the spell down, then tap the mana, which the judge reminded him, please tap your mana first. Three times.
I see.
He was reminded two times. The third time he got DQ'd before winning the
Oh.
game. He got too excited, so he casted the spell, paid the mana, DQ, then people rioted. Legit,
Ah,
people
the
rioted.
riot of 97. I see.
The
I see.
riot of 97.
That's
Thank
that's
you for the
that
reminder.
sounds like a t-shirt waiting to happen.
Yeah. So yep. We have also from Jim. Thank you, Jim. We have same scenario with lead or lion's eye diamond. Thank you, Jim. Friend of the channel. Thank you for joining us today. Yep, yep, yep,
Nicely done. Nicely done.
yep.
That was a very good segment, Judge Carlo. What do you think, TD Baps?
I think it's a pretty cool story to go around. That's
Mm,
usually the beauty of Magic the Gathering as a game itself, because it has a lot of rich history that we could all go back and learn a thing or two, especially for the
Yep,
newer
yep.
players. So I think it's a very cool topic to bring up. Thanks to Anton. And
Thank you,
just
Anton.
because of this topic that we Judge Carlo has brought up, like, yeah, that definitely brings back some memories for a couple of players back in my day.
Back in my day, damage
As the
went on
boomers
the
would say.
stack.
Mm. Yeah, so
uh,
because while Carlo was talking about the story, I was actually reading it here on Reddit. And the name of the player, yeah, I got
Mm,
the details here. The name of the player was David Mills, and so when it happened, he got disqualified. The guys got the riot, and then one of the known players, Mark Justice, uh,
mm,
rallied all the players to do the protest, and it got to the point where the manager or like the organizer like made a speech and then to calm them down and then just went home. So at the very least, he may have been disqualified, but he got his they were able to
rise
revert his
the
prize.
rules.
So he was
The
able to get
price.
his winnings in second place with $16,000. So at least he got something home, even though they weren't able to revert the decision of getting the win via disqualification. So, but that was the only disqualification that happened for a win, and it never happened again, like ever,
Yep, yep,
because
mm.
they had to
yep,
change the
yep,
rules.
That's
yep,
true.
yep.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, right now
Well,
it doesn't matter if you cast your card first or tap your mana second, doesn't matter now. Because yeah, there's a lot of this game has been around for more than 35 years. Or no, sorry,
30
30.
this
years,
game
Was it
is
more than
Carlo.
older
30
than
years?
some people.
Isa, 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 isa. I don't want to
It's
wrong
30.
myself.
It was the year that was born. That was
30,
also the
30, 30. Yeah,
time
30.
Magic
30,
came
right?
out.
Exactly 30.
Yeah, 30.
Exactly 30. So
Hmm.
the rules of this beautiful game has changed so much in the course of those 30 years that yeah, we'll make it part of the segment. There's so many things I can talk about. Dryad Arbor, moving
Yep.
to combat,
Lightning
so many
Helix is one of my favorites.
lightning helix. So many
Ignite,
Mm,
things we can share. So yeah.
ignite the flame. Ignite
Ignite the
memory.
flame. Ignite memory.
Yeah, that was a very cool,
Brad
cool mode.
Nelson versus BBD. What you call that? Sneak and show. Back in
Yep.
my day, lands were played in the front. I wonder
Hmm.
who plays with their lands in front. Out of all
that's
the
that's
players
how
in
you
Cebu
that's how
and
you show them you have unhinged lands. That's how you do it.
Dude, I wanna buy the secret lair lands, the one with the play the rules
the
text.
text.
The
That
text.
really, like, because Bozoy and I are like having
Oh
this
man.
conversation of pissing people off with just rules text, like lands filled with text. Or we started
It's
off with different art,
expensive.
like very different art, and then we're planning to like buy a couple of secret layer basic lands just to really irk their OCDs. I was like, why do you
I
have
know
that land?
it's so
Ah!
gross. So
It's like
gross. But
they will
it's
I would
expensive.
love for them to read the rules text as they play
It's
the
like
land.
it's literally this card, but that entire thing is text. It's just text.
You know
Yeah,
that's
Jib.
Yeah,
that's
Bob
more
Meyer.
expensive than than the unhinged land that we like. Um,
That S&D land?
yeah,
No, Unhinged is more
the
expensive by a small
unhinged
margin.
is I think $8 only SGD, and I
Something like that.
think 11 ata si
Oh, no, bro.
si
Oh.
I stand corrected.
si Texan. Yeah. Hindi kasi
Stand
secret layer kasi
by.
siya eh. SC eh. Secret
Yeah.
layer. Yeah.
It was one of the
And
first secret layers, right?
Guys, if you have like a couple hundred basic lands from Secret Lair, I would love to trade them for my Sauron. I will definitely take
You were
that
not
deal.
able to sell it there. You
Nah,
were
nah,
not
it's
able to
nah.
hard,
sell it
man.
there.
It's
Yeah,
hard. It's
super
hard.
hard.
It's hard.
I might
Yeah.
sell it,
It's hard.
in Chicago, maybe.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Chicago.
All right. I
Chicago.
think that's it for
Yep.
today. Time check
Yes,
right now is
sir.
1 minute and 30, 1 hour and 30.
One.
I know I mentioned now we should have a raffle today, but that's one of the things that I wasn't able to secure. So next stream we'll have two raffles and one giveaway for the copter. Shout out to everybody who joined us on stream. Special thanks to Doc Pau who has joined
Yeah.
us.
Thank you, Doc Pao.
Congratulations to all the winners. Um, we will, of course, shout you out in our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Also, we're gonna put in some Twitters as well. TD Baps will be bombard. If you want to know Funky Decks, TD Baps will be sharing there in Twitter.
Funky Dex.
Um,
Funky, funky.
so funky, and then maybe some rules questions. TD Slicedbread will be there, and if you want to
Always.
see the decks that are being shout outed by Jerson, I will be playing them right after stream. So that's how I will do it going forward. So probably today I'll be asking for TD Baps Merfolk um, lists, and I'll run it
Yep.
tonight. Hopefully, I do 5-0. If not, it's all your fault, TD Baps. It's all your fault.
Yeah,
They good.
just play on your
It's
opponent's
not a
side.
combo deck, pre. It's
Play,
not a
play.
combo deck.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. TD Baps, anything on your end?
Yeah. So
Upcoming events?
Yep,
we have
upcoming events.
the upcoming store championships next week on Saturday. That's
Mhm.
going to be our Christmas party as well for the
Yep,
Magic
yep.
community. But before that, there's going to be a 2v2 tournament for Cardfight Vanguard. It's at 9
Mhm.
a.m. Doors are open at 8, so you can go there and register if you haven't. But you can register in advance by dropping by at Top Deck Games or leaving me a message. And before that as well, we're now hosting Store Championship qualifiers. So if you want to get a shot for next week, be sure to bring your friends and huddle up for some on-demand Magic tournaments during the weekdays. So, and there's going to be our flagship battle on the 30th. That's December 30, almost after
Mm.
before Christmas. The boys at Davao, I heard, are coming back again. So time to
Oh,
defend the land,
yeah.
boys. Defend the land. The last time we
And the,
almost
Defend
gave
the
it away
land.
because shout outs to Ram. He got into top 8, but we were able to defend.
um,
More so on the 16th because we are having a lot of visitors coming in from Cebu.
coming
Yeah,
in
So
yeah,
as
yeah.
well. Yep.
Cebu, Dipolog,
Um,
possibly in Manila.
will they be able
possibly,
to
hopefully.
see the details on our site by then, TD Baps,
Yep.
Yeah,
by say
it's
tonight? Okay.
yeah, it's also already on our Facebook page, so you can check out the details
Okay.
there. We will be adding
Yep.
more
Yep.
info for the events as well because some of the players are demanding like other side
Demanding.
events like
Yeah.
Pioneer, Popper, and Modern.
Demanding.
So it's going to be
Yep.
like
Yep.
you know Magic Fest. Small Magic
Magic
Fest
Fest
for
CDO.
top deck. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
Just
go.
to for our viewers listening, thank you guys for staying. Just to perk your interest. All three of us are contributing to the prize pool. So we're all
Oh,
we're gonna open the wallets and open the vaults to give to that prize pool on the 16th. So not something you want to miss.
oh,
Yeah,
very
it's
nice, very
our
nice.
way of saying thank you for supporting the shop. All, of course,
Precisely.
support your local game store, your LGS out there, everyone.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is TD Talks 2023, episode 6. We only have 2 more episodes to go before we end 2023, and we're going to
We
start
close the year.
2024. Okay.
All
All right.
right.
This is us signing off. I'm TD Erickson, TD
TD
Bobs, and
Bappo.
TD Slicedbread.
TD
Bye
Slicedbread.
bye.
Goodbye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye bye.